hello. Go into another Endwalker dungeon. Vanaspati? Vanaspati? I can't pronounce stuff. But serious business here. Vanaspati. Things are on fire. The story is very intense right now. So, yeah. Running this with the crew again, the NPC crew. I got my food, got my tank stance on. Okay. These people are struggling a bit with this stuff, okay? So, when I first ran this, I saw them running towards me, and I kind of just kept going, not realizing that they were actually going to be the enemies. So you gotta wait for them to transform, and then you take them out. Yeah, right. They're children of Favnir, and we have to help them. Yeah, that's understandable, dude. But yeah, we gotta take them out to end the misery here. Okay. Watch out for big AoEs. Okay. Sad business. There's fire everywhere. As I've mentioned in other guides, the Endwalker dungeons, the pacing is a little bit more thoughtfully designed to work with the NPCs and such. And so you can't do hella big pulls, but some of the pulls, like this was just 2 packs, they still hit pretty hard. And so, you know, if that's how you get your thrills, then they still do hit. Kind of difficult. Yeah. I say that to remind you to use your mitigations well, like split them up and things, so that you have enough to last for the whole pack. Okay, now that we have... Oh, this is the only way? Yeah. Seems like it is. Okay. Alright, so we're running through this thing. This is water, it's very dark, but... Okay, so we're gonna grab these packs here. And again, when running with the NPCs, they're going to only move if they can't see the enemy or you anymore. And so, as you know, here in the map, I can't see the NPCs anymore, so they've stayed back there. And because it's a little bit windy, but it's still basically just like a line path. So it's kind of a struggle to do a bigger pool here, and also keep the NPCs close for heals and just all sorts of things. So keep that in mind if you're gonna do like multiple packs, that you need to make sure that the NPCs are still close to you so you can get heals and stuff. I definitely didn't pop any mitigations at that point either, which was also, you know, on me, but because the healer Elfnod was like so far away, there's no way I was even getting like Cardia. Cardia is like the automatic heal from when he does damage. Wait, I don't even have the Cardia thing on here. Do I get Cardia from him? Dang, what kind of sage is he? Okay, well, okay, so here he's close enough to give me like a small heal as I'm pulling the pack, but if I keep running, see, then we lose sight of each other. He's like dimmed out and it can be a struggle, so I'm trying to be mindful of that when I do the pull. So in this case, I don't keep going, I just stay here right at this pack. I turned around, made sure they were with me, and then I'm spacing out my mitigations. Oh, I popped my invuln, but yeah, if you're running this with other people, you know, typically other players will just follow you if you're tanking, so you won't have to deal with this as much, but it's always a good practice to make sure you know where your party members are and to stay together as a group. Because this is a group project and we all work together and support each other. We'll watch out for these AoEs here. It's kind of a small space and the AoEs are pretty big. If I was running this with other people, I'd probably bring the pack more back this way, but because I had already wiped, I didn't want to deal with moving the NPCs again, even slightly, so I just stayed in this area. Generally, you do want to use a more open space so that people have more room to dodge AoEs and things like that. See, like, this covers the entire space, so like they can only go in 2 different directions, kind of. But if you're in a bigger space, then there's more area around to move. Okay, first boss. Notes of Despair. This is gonna be a raid wipe. You also notice this boss has like mouths on it. That's kind of its aesthetic. Okay. There's this move called Mouth Off. Okay, so it's gonna change the floor. And as you can see, there's mouths here. And it looks a little too real for me. Ugh. But what's important to actually look for is they're saying something. Such pain, such pain, such pain. And then some of them just have ... They're not saying anything. Those are the ones you want to go stand by. Because the ones that are having such pain are going to do these big AoEs. Okay, and then the ones that aren't saying anything or just quiet will be the safe spots. Okay. We're gonna see that a few times here. Last gasp, Tank Buster. The Stolen Alisay just straight up stayed there, so I had to move out of the way so I don't hit them. Okay, Mouth Off again, so we're gonna see those mouths on the floor. Ground. Okay, so we have such pain, such pain, such pain, and then a clear one here and ... there. So I went to this one, but the boss is also casting something else at the same time. What is left? And he's raising his left hand, which means it's gonna cleave this whole side of the stage. Okay, so that's why you gotta look at, you know, you got this option or you got this option. And because this mechanic is gonna cleave the side, this one would be the safe one. Okay, so there. So this is the cleave from the what's left situation, and then the circle AoEs are the ones from the mouths. So I'm just standing here and we'll see what happens when I get hit with the mouth thing. Okay, so vitriol 20k. Wow, that's a lot. And then a stack marker. A Volan stack. Debuff. My bad. Notes of Despair. It's the raid wide. Lost Hope. What's this? Okay, so Lost Hope gives everybody temporary misdirection. We'll have these little baby chocobos spinning around, you know. It's like in those cartoons where people have like little chicks flying around their head when they're confused. But we got chocobos. And then there's this arrow on top. The arrow would be spinning around, and whenever you try to move, you're just going to move in the direction of wherever the arrow is pointing. And so this can be tricky. Okay, overcome temporary insanity, can only move in direction indicated. Okay, this can be tricky because when the boss does this mouth off thing again, we have to go, like, one, find the safe spot. Okay, so we got on opposite sides here. If you want to move, you're only going to move in the direction that the thing's pointing. I happened to pick it where it went that way, and I picked it fine, but later you'll see that I was kind of struggling a little. Tank Buster. I'll talk about kind of my strategy of how I do the confusion one. Okay, mouth off again. So we got the ones that aren't talking. Those are the safe spots. And now the boss is doing what is left. So it's this hand up. So this side is gonna get cleaved. So we have to go to this one. Okay, now he's doing what is right. Hands up on this side, so this side's gonna get cleaved. Okay, and then we got these AoE markers, we're just gonna spread them up. Note of Despair. It's the raid wide. I used Reprisal for those. And it just so happened that my Reprisal was up for basically all the raid wides, so that worked out. Okay, so here we got the temporary misdirection again. So when I'm moving, I kind of stop and go. Okay, and then mouth off, we're gonna find that one mouth, or whichever mouth is clear. You'll notice I stop and go. Okay, so they're back here. See, I'm kind of like going in whatever direction, and once I start heading in a direction I think is safe, then I just stay on that. I play with controller, so I just keep moving ever so slightly to see if I'm going to start heading south. Once I do, then I hold it. See, so here I just hold it, and then my debuff went off, and then I had enough time to run out regularly. So it was kind of close, and I was around here when I was able to get there. But if I was like all the way back here, it probably would have been a struggle to make it into the safe spot, because see how close that was, and that blew up. So that is something you kind of just have to figure out on your own, like the timing of it, how to like just run a little bit and then figure out if you're going in the right direction. Okay, so there we go. That was the first boss. Yeah, that confusion thing, it has taken me some time to get used to. Okay, again, the little people end up turning into the ads, so we'll wait for them to transform and then you grab them, and I'm taking them to the end here. It looks like you can't go any further because of this broken tree branch. But I go anyway, because sometimes something will pop up. And then I want to see if I can maximize my pull. Okay, big line AoE, just watch out for those things. So since I noticed that it was a big line AoE, I try to make sure to face all these away from the party so they don't have to move as much. And so it's just me moving as the tank. Oh, except that time I spun it a little bit. Okay, moving on. This part is actually kind of sad. We have to get away from here. Mother, what's wrong? And then she's like going through a thing and just, yeah. Whenever I've run this with like random people, they always like make a comment here about how sad and distressing this is, and then I actually paid attention to what they were saying, like the NPCs, and I was like, oh, that is pretty sad. I try to face everything away from people. It's kind of hard because they're so big, and then she's kind of like sliding a little bit. But it doesn't look like they're doing AoEs, like pointed AoEs, so it's alright. Oh, never mind. That's a big AoE. Okay, moving on. Got treasure here. And then it looks like it's another just straight long path. So I'm gonna be mindful of making sure the NPCs are following me. And I see there's one back there, okay, so you gotta pay attention to that stuff. Other players will likely run towards you, but the NPCs don't. They just stay back there. So you gotta watch out for that if you're tanking. And if you're in a situation where something is on you and you're not the tank, just run it towards the tank. Ooh, these got big line AoEs. Yeah, it looks like it just targets a person, so that's not something I could have moved them around for. Okay, this one's targeting another person. Target your Stola. Alice got hit with that? Oh man. She really likes standing in things. Or just focusing on damage and stuff. Okay, there's treasure here. Then we'll move on to the next boss. Meaningless destruction. This is the raid wide. Also, we have fire on the outside now. Okay, unholy water. The boss is going to bring up these like bubbles around the stage and then do this move, Aether Siphon. You have to look at what the animation is for this. So see, it's bringing water, it's siphoning water into its tail. And so then that means it's gonna do this move, Aether Spray, and it's gonna be a knockback. So you might get knocked back into the fire stuff if you're not close to it. So you want to stand close to the marker, like near here, so you get knocked back. But you want to avoid the bubble for this one. You can also use your knockback immunity if you have it. You don't want to get pushed back. You'll take some damage, but if you get knocked into the fire, you get burned. Okay, I did that for science. Okay, total wreck. We got Tank Buster here. The bubbles go away. We'll see it again because it's a repeated mechanic. Unholy water. Okay, it's gonna get the bubbles again. And then Aether Siphon. So you gotta look at what it's gathering up. Okay, it's gathering fire now. So this means we want to go into the bubble, because when it does the Aether Spray, this is a proximity damage thingy. We're gonna go into the bubble. When you're inside the bubble, you can't move or do anything, but you get some buffs and debuffs, okay? So you get water resistance down and fire resistance up. So for this specific mechanic, because the boss gathered fire in its tail body, it's gonna do an attack that is a fire attack. And because we're in the bubble, we have more defense against fire, because we got this buff. This one, okay? Now the other one, it did water, and that means if you're in the bubble, your resistance to water is down, and therefore you take more damage, which is why you don't want to be in the water the first time. But when it's shooting fire, you want to be in the bubble to protect yourself. Okay. Okay. Meaningless destruction is the raid wide. Unholy water, we're gonna get the bubbles again. Aether Siphon, look at which animation thing is coming out. Okay, it's water. So we're gonna do the knockback thing. I use arm's length, so I'm good. So I get hit with the thing, but I don't get knocked back because I use arm's length. Okay. Poison Heart. Okay, we're stacking. This poison stuff drops. Okay. And we got Tank Buster. Unholy water. The bubbles again. Look at the siphon. This fire. So we're gonna go into the bubble. Okay. Meaningless destruction. raid wide. Okay, bubbles are up. Look at the Aether animation thing. It's water. And then it'd be knockback. So yeah, a lot of repeated mechanics there. Not too bad. Put a lot of details in the Endwalker dungeons. In all the dungeons really, but I notice, yeah, just even in these dungeons there's a lot of little details. Even though everything's on fire, you know, there's a lot of thought put into the design here. It's kind of neat. Those are the things I kind of think about when I'm just like taking care of ads, especially these smaller pools where I don't have to focus too much. Okay, once we take care of this small group, this thing falls down, so we'll go up this way and go across. Yeah, we're walking across this thingy and it connects to the building. All these pillars fell. Man, then, whoa, did you see that? It's like all the stuff happening over here. Yeah, there's a lot of detail. Okay, so these guys are two big birds with faces. I go grab the treasure chest and then all of a sudden that one went back there, so I have to go grab it. Okay, these guys are just hanging out on this cliff, whatever, pillar thing, and it's hard to move them a lot. And I try to move these back a little bit to try to move them closer to me. Because here we go, we got this long AoE and it's like there's not a lot of place you can run to dodge if you're standing on this pillar. You'd have to run down and then over, so you know, I don't recommend standing over there. And if you can try to get your NPCs to not stand there, that would be good. Okay, your Strollo was able to get down from the thing, but it's still not the best place to stand. LSA is standing right behind me, which, you know, if we had tank cleaves, that's not the best place to stand. You work with what you got, okay? Yeah, with the new ads, just pick them up and keep them in the center. Long AoE here. Okay. So many mouths. Oh, the arm. Wait. Hold up. I'm gonna back it up a little. Oh, the arm was up. And then it knocked it down. As it was going down. And then the arm went down here. Yeah, wow. And then in the background, the arm's not there anymore. See, it's broken off. Yeah, and then we walk across the arm. Wow. Alice said, it can't be. Alphinaud says, I, the beast of Amarat, or something worse still. Okay. Flames of Decay. Raid wide. Okay. Notice here we've got this like square column row situation. Alright. We're gonna have to pay attention to that. Okay, because of this. So we got 2 rows in the back here that have the red circles. Okay. And then we've got the 2 rows up here that have like blue lightning, whatever stuff. Okay. So when the boss does this move, Ethereal Disruption, the boss, I'm not going to pronounce that, is corrupting the ethereal currents. So that means the boss is going to blow up whatever current it is that is in front of your screen. So we got the red circle right here. It might be hard to tell because there's all sorts of like fire and like the boss himself, or you might just be looking at your character and stuff, but you have to figure out, you have to actually pay attention to the thing here. So it's the red circle. So that means the red circle area is gonna blow up. So I want to stay in the blue. See how it follows your camera? It's just in front of your camera, okay? I'm gonna stay in the blue area. That's a safe spot. Okay, so we're good. We didn't get hit with that. Okay, so it does it again, and now it's also doing this move, Crumbling Sky. This time the stage has changed. Red circles in the back and in the front, and then the middle 2 are the blue triangles. They're actually triangles. The white is the triangles. Okay. So Crumbling Sky. Okay, so we got the AoE. We got AoE baits that we have to take care of. And then now it's doing Ethereal Disruption. And then here we get the white triangle thing. So the white blue triangle thingy is in the center. So everyone needs to be in the center, but also staggering out. Oh wait, sorry. Not be in the center. Not be in the center. They need to be outside because the center is going to blow up. Okay. And so we all hung out on the red one and spread it out so we don't overlap this. Everybody got hit with this thing, and you can see that they took basically half their health, and so you don't want to overlap with anybody. Also, standing in this outside thingy gives you a bleed for science. I took the bleed. Tank Buster. Okay, stage changed again. Crumbling Sky. Oh, this one is a knockback. Okay, so we gotta position ourselves in a way where when we get knocked back, we stand in the safe zone. So we have to figure out what the safe one is. So it's the red circle. So that means the red circle area is gonna get blown up. So we need to stand in the blue-white triangle area. So I'm gonna run back over here and position myself along the knockback so that I get knocked back this way instead of this way. Not like that, okay? You'll notice Alphanod is over there because he got snapshotted. Wait, let me delete this. Right here, Alphanod is running over here. He's trying to run over here. But the knockback thing went off. And he was kind of running still, or he got snapshot during the run. And so he gets knocked back that way. So you gotta react pretty fast to that so you're in your spot when the snapshot hits. The snapshot meaning when the game server figures out where you're standing, you need to have a certain amount of time for that to process. And so yeah, he gets hit. It looks like he gets hit with a lot of that, okay? So that's why you don't want to stand over there. Okay, so now the boss is going far away, doing Crumbling Sky. But this time, it's a little bit more unique, okay? He's got these things. You want to find the safe spot and stay in that column. So it will align with the columns of the stage. Okay, so this is gonna get blown up. This one's blown up. This one's blowing up. So we stay in this one. This one. So you have to turn your camera. Oh, and then immediately after we're gonna get circle AoE. So you have to dodge those. While you're dodging those, still look up at where the boss is to figure out where's the safe spot. Okay, so this one is now going to be the safe column. Okay, dodge the AoEs and still look up here. Looks like it's going to be all the way over here. Okay, so I got hit with one of those, so it was a little too slow. So I got a Vuln stack and then like 14-15k damage, and then I end up getting hit with the comet because I was standing in there a little too long. 16k and another vulnerability stack. Okay, so if you are constantly getting hit with that, you're gonna take some good damage. By good damage, I mean it's bad. Flames of Decay. Okay, that's a big raid wide. Okay. This thing again, the current's okay, and then we got Crumbling Sky, so we figure out what mechanic is happening here. It's the knockback one. Okay, it's actually all of them. We have a knockback, and we have the AoE thing, and we have this thing. So, we'll break it down. We do not want to stand in the red circle ones, because that's going to blow up. So we need to stand in these two in the back, well, technically it's front, okay? The triangle square, the white triangle ones. And then, since we have the AoEs, we need to get knocked back in a way where we don't overlap with each other. But, you know, you can try to take care of yourself first. So, get knocked back into the white triangle ones, and then you might have time to spread. And as long as you're not like standing exactly where someone else is standing, you should be okay. So we're all staggered a little bit, so it should be okay. So we all get knocked back. Okay, see, so she went that way, I went this way, he went that way, she went that way. And then now we're all in the safe area for when this explodes. And then we're also away from each other, so we only get hit with our own AoE marker. yeah, it hits a bit, so gotta heal up for that after. Tank Buster. Flames of Decay, the raid wide. Okay, this thing again. Crumbling the Sky. Watch for whatever mechanic it is. Okay, so knockback, and then we got the white triangle. So we don't stand over here. We want to go over here. We need to knock back into it. Oh, and we got the spread the AoEs again. So just don't stack on each other. Spread out a little bit. It knocks back into the redder. Okay, we're all separated. Wait for everything to explode, and then you can move. And definitely you need to heal up, because that thing hurts. Tank Buster. Flames of Decay, raid wide again. Okay, this thing, but yeah, so it just repeats after you've seen all those mechanics. Very intense part of the story. I hope you're enjoying it despite the despair that's happening at the moment, and good luck on the rest of it. Goodbye.